If you were a Dodger fan in the 2000s, there was no better moment than this. Dodger Stadium going crazy and Welcome to the Jungle playing in the background. Chills would run through your spine because you knew what was about to happen. You were about to see one of the game's best pitchers, and it was also game over. Even if it was just for one inning, seeing Eric Gagne pitch was must-watch TV. Whether it was his streak, electric stuff, or fearlessness on the mound, you stopped what you were doing when Gagne came in to close. As we all know, his time with the Dodgers wasn't the longest. Hampered by injuries, he would only close 3 full seasons for LA. But those 3 seasons were legendary. From 2002 to 2004, Gagne would average 51 saves with an ERA of 1.79, all while smashing the consecutive save record of 43, finishing with a total of 84. Before he was closing and breaking records, Eric was a starter for Los Angeles. Seeing as he was turning to a closer, it's fair to assume his time as a starter didn't go as planned. In this video, I'll be going over how Eric Gagne performed as a starter from 1996 to 2001. Thank you for checking out the channel. This is Left on Base, and I hope you enjoy the video. Being born near Montreal, Quebec in 1976, Gagne would have 2 loves, hockey and baseball. Playing both sports into his high school years, it became clear to him he was better at baseball. Although he would give up hockey to focus on pitching, he would never lose that bulldog mentality years of playing hockey had instilled in him. Eric would end up being drafted by the White Sox in the 30th round of the 1994 draft. Unable to come to a deal, he would end up signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers the following year. Having played mostly as a starter his whole life, Eric would continue to do just that in Single-A for the 1996 season. At 20 years old, Gagne would pitch in 23 games, starting 21 of them. He would put up an ERA of 3.28 in 115 innings, while almost striking out 11 per 9 and even completing a game. Clearly, Gagne had potential, but unfortunately for him, he would end up needing Tommy John surgery, costing him the entire 1997 season. To start 1998, Gagne was promoted to Class A Advanced, the Vero Beach Dodgers. That year also happened to be the first year for Vero Beach pitching coach Mark Brewer. Son of screwballer Jim Brewer, Mark knew a thing or two about throwing the elusive pitch, teaching many of his pitchers how to throw the screwball, Eric being one of them, which meant that not only was Gagne promoted and coming back from Tommy John, but he was also learning to throw a new pitch, all at the age of 22. With all that in mind, it's fair to say that he did a great job. He would start 25 games, completing 3 of them, for a total of 139 innings, with an ERA of 3.74 and striking out 9 batters per 9. Proving he still had great stuff after his surgery, it's unsurprising that he was promoted to Double-A the following season. Starting 26 games and throwing 167 innings, Eric would end up with an ERA of 2.63 while striking out almost 10 per 9. Seeing one of their minor league pitchers putting up great numbers and needing pitching help, the Dodgers would call up Gagne towards the end of the 1999 season. Starting against the Marlins in Florida, Eric would end up making his major league debut on September 7th. Striking out the first 2 batters he faced, Gagne wouldn't look back, throwing 6 more innings without giving up a run, even getting a hit in his first at-bat off of Ryan Dempster. He would end the day with 8 strikeouts, only allowing 1 walk and 2 hits. While he didn't get the win and the 1999 Marlins ended up with the record of 64-98, it was still a great debut nonetheless. His next start would be his home debut going up against the Mets, and unlike the Marlins, the Mets ended the season with 97 wins. The difference between the 2 teams would be seen immediately, as Gagne would give up a double, then a home run to the first 2 batters of the game. He would then settle down until the 6th inning, when he would give up 4 hits and 3 runs. Eric would finish the day allowing 5 runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, and a home run in 6 innings of work. After taking his first career loss, Gagne's next start would be against the San Francisco Giants, a team he would go on to have a lot of history with. Lasting 5 innings, Eric's day on the mound ended with mixed but mostly positive results. He held the Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent tandem to 0-6 with 3 strikeouts while only giving up a run on 3 hits. On the other hand, he allowed 5 walks and gave up another home run. Now, if facing Barry Bonds wasn't hard enough, Eric would have to face another all-time great in his next start against the Tony Gwynn-led Padres. Carrying a perfect game into the 5th inning, Gagne finished the day only allowing 1 walk, 2 hits, and 1 earned run while striking out 7 in 7 innings. While it was a great start, he did give up another home run. Like usual, Eric wouldn't get much run support, so he would earn a no decision for his work. With the season coming close to an end, Gagne would get his final start of the season on October 1st against the Houston Astros. Throwing a season-high 109 pitches in 6 innings, Eric allowed 5 walks, 5 hits, all while striking out 5. Luckily, he was able to settle down when needed, not allowing a run and stranding 8 on base, all while earning his first career win. Finishing with a record of 77-85, the Dodgers' 1999 season would come to an end, and so would Gagne's first season in the majors. While almost giving up 1 home run per 9 and 4 walks per 9 in 30 innings aren't the best stats, when coming from a 23-year-old in his first season, it's honestly expected. Then you add on a 2.10 ERA, a whip of 1.1, and 9 Ks per 9, you have yourself a very good debut in the big leagues. So good, in fact, that Gagne would become the Dodgers' second best prospect heading into the 2000 season according to Baseball America. He would even out-hit the Yankees' third best prospect, fellow 23-year-old Alfonso Soriano. Having a lot of potential with a high 90s fastball, a great curve, a great changeup, and a screwball that was in the works, Eric, just like most rookies, did have some kinks to work out, those being home runs and walks. At times, one or both would happen, which often led to blow-up innings and otherwise very good outings. Being bounced around between the minors and majors for the 2000 season, Gagne would get his first start of the season on April 15th against the Reds. Eric would allow 3 walks and 1 home run in 5 innings of work, setting a tone for the rest of the season. Starting 2 more games, he would finish April with an ERA of 4.11 while throwing 15 innings and allowing 15 hits, 8 walks, 4 home runs, and 7 earned runs, including a loss against the Braves where he would give up 3 home runs. The next month of May would result in similar numbers even with a great start against the Braves. Starting 4 games, Eric would lose 2 of them, all while giving up 23 hits, 16 walks, and 6 home runs. Gagne would actually get his first relief appearance of his career against the Cardinals on May 14th after starter Carlos Perez had to be pulled in the second after giving up 7 runs. Needing a big game to start June, he would get just that with a 6-inning win against the Rangers where he would strike out 7 and not allow a run. His next start, however, wouldn't be as sharp as he would pick up a loss against the A's, allowing 6 runs over 5 innings. Following an underwhelming showing, Gagne would be sent down to hopefully improve on his home run and walk rates. However, he wouldn't get much time to work things out, being called up for a June 27th start against the Padres. After picking up a quality start against the Padres, he would stay with the Dodgers for the entire month of July. Unfortunately for Gagne, he would end up having one of his worst months in the majors. In 5 starts, he would throw 23 innings, 14 walks, 36 hits, 8 home runs, and 24 earned runs. His worst starts would be against the Mariners, allowing 8 runs, and the Giants, giving up 3 home runs. Eric's ERA would jump from 4.55 at the start of the month to a 5.85 at the end. Even though Los Angeles needed help at starting pitching, those numbers weren't good enough to stick around. He would again be sent down to AAA, and this time Eric would be given more than a couple weeks in the minors to work things out. After spending August at Albuquerque, Gagne would be called up to pitch on September 11th against the Diamondbacks, and it would be his best start of the season. Throwing 6 innings of shutout ball, he would give up 1 hit while striking out 7. Picking up his first win since June, Eric would pick up 2 more wins in September against the Rockies and Padres. The Padres win being the last start of the season where he would again strike out 7. Bringing his ERA down from 5.44 to 5.15, Gagne would finish the season on a high note. Eric was showing a lot of potential with his plus-grade pitches and high strikeout rate, but at the same time, he would average almost 5 walks per 9, allow almost 2 home runs per 9, and have a whip of 1.6. Eric's numbers were slightly better in the minors, mainly his strikeout and walk rate, with the Dodgers still having holes in their rotation and finishing the previous season on a high note. Gagne would open the 2001 season on the starting rotation. Getting his first start of the season against the Diamondbacks on April 3rd, Eric would end up getting the no decision, throwing out 5 innings and allowing 5 hits, but also striking out 6 with 1 earned run. While he did win a great start against the Giants, allowing only 1 run and 7 strikeouts in 8 innings, his overall numbers for the month of April weren't as good. He would finish April with an ERA of 4.8, allowing 9 walks, 32 hits, 3 home runs, and 16 earned runs in 30 innings. May would end up being a mixed bag for Gagne. He had the best start of his career, throwing 7 innings of 1-hit ball against the Cubs, but he also had 2 starts where he would give up 2 home runs, one of which was in front of his hometown Expos, and the other would include giving up a home run to Deion Sanders. Eric would begin the next month of June on a bad note. Against the Astros, he would leave in the 3rd after allowing 8 runs and a grand slam. After his disastrous start in Houston, the Dodgers would begin to try out Gagne as a reliever. Like most pitchers starting to relieve, Eric's first 2 appearances weren't in critical situations. That changed on June 10th when Gagne would be called upon in the 10th inning of a 5-5 tie against the Angels. Sadly for Eric, his tendency to give up home runs reared its ugly head, and Gagne would give up a home run to Garrett Anderson, the second batter of the inning. The next day, Eric would come in to relieve another blowout loss, then he would again be sent down to AAA to improve on his home run and walk rates. He would end up doing just that, bringing down both his walk and home run totals. Being able to control the 2 things holding him back, Gagne would win 2 of his next 3 starts with an ERA below 2. With an impressive showing in AAA and injuries affecting the Dodgers' rotation, Eric would be called back up to pitch on July 4th against the Giants. Throwing 6 shutout innings in his return, Gagne would have one of his best months as a starter, picking up 3 wins in 5 starts. Other than one start where he would give up 7 runs, Eric wouldn't allow more than 3 runs in 4 starts. However, home runs were again a problem, giving up 2 home runs in 2 starts. Unable to continue his success from July, Gagne would again have an up and down month in August. He would throw 3 quality starts, 2 of those only allowing 1 run, and he also hit a triple. He would also lose 3 games, giving up 3 home runs in a game, and allowing 18 runs in 32 innings. With an ERA of 4.97, the Dodgers would demote Gagne to AAA at the end of the month. After a great start, Gagne would be called back up, but this time, he would be moved to the bullpen. Again, being put into situations where the Dodgers were losing, Eric would end September relieving 6 innings and only allowing a run. Needing a spot start on October 3rd, the Dodgers would call up Gagne and would be his last start in the majors. Eric would throw 6 innings, allowing 2 runs and striking out 6. The game would also feature Rickey Henderson tying Ty Cobb's all-time run record. Other than a one-out appearance, Gagne's 2001 season would come to an end. Just like every other season Eric pitched, 2001 would be filled with great and not-so-great starts. He would actually finish the season with 12 quality starts, but he would also have 9 starts where he would give up 4 or more runs. All of that would lead to an ERA of 4.75 in 24 starts. While his numbers weren't elite, Gagne was able to bring down both his home run and walk rates. Throwing a career-high 151 innings, Eric allowed 46 walks, 144 hits, and 80 runs while striking out 130. Still needing help with their starting pitching, the Dodgers would pick up 4 starters during the offseason, those being 24-year-old Odalis Perez, 28-year-old Kazuhisa Ishii, and reunions with both 33-year-old Hideo Nomo and 30-year-old Omar Dahl. With new acquisitions at starter and closer Jeff Shaw retiring, Gagne would begin the season in the bullpen. However, Eric moving to the bullpen might have happened even if the Dodgers had not acquired more starters. Gagne not only would end up being up and down in the season, but he would also be up and down in the starts. Most of Eric's losses would come from either one bad inning or one bad pitch that would land in the stands. The Dodgers not only noticed this, but they also noticed that Gagne was an absolute bulldog on the mound, not afraid of who was at bat or how big the situation was. With a fastball that could touch triple digits, a screwball that he was getting better with, a great changeup, and one of the league's best curveballs, Gagne had all the tools to be a great closer. All Eric had to do was bring down his home run and walk rates, both of which could be solved if he was able to command his great stuff. And with that, Gagne would never start another game in the majors. Finally being able to control his pitches, and with a newly mastered screwball, Gagne's walk and home run rates would turn from bad to elite. Winning a Cy Young in 2003, Eric Gagne would go on to have one of the best runs ever for a closer. Once again, I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to check out the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day.